Want to do a video today on gain staging. This comes up all the time, and so it's something I wanted to kind of walk through, especially with powered speakers. So it's very, very common either in live situations or DJs that are setting up a system with powered speakers, and that input on the back is not a volume, it's an input gain because that's the amplifier, right? And so the question always comes, so where do I set that? And so if you open it up all the way and then you're coming to your board and you're increasing your output of the board, you could end up with really, really loud, way louder than what you want, and you're driving the whole system a lot louder than you want. So the way to do that properly is, again, that's an input gain on the amplifier at the powered speaker. And so what I always recommend as a great way to do it is to take your board. I'm looking over here because I have my board here. I have an SSL console here in front of me. So take your board and play program material. So whether that's a DJ rig, whether that's a mixer, and play like a pre-recorded track at Unity. So it's your fader at 0 with your input gain set so you're not peaking, that you're staying within your proper gains at that level. So maybe like right around 0, and so you're not getting too much signal, but you've got enough signal coming into the board. You got your fader at Unity, you have master fader at Unity, then going to the speaker or the amplifier and increasing that input gain to reach the maximum desired level that you want in the room. Okay, so that's really the way to do it, because then you can keep your board at Unity. Sort of the goal is to keep your board at Unity, knowing that, hey, that's going to be the max level that I want in the room, and I'm not driving my speakers too hard, I'm not clipping here. So if you have too little gain at the amplifier, then you start driving your mixer too hard, and then you start clipping your output gain stage at the mixer, your output master bus. And so you start sending a clipped signal to your amplifier or to your powered speaker. That's where you get in trouble, is because then you can blow a speaker by sending a clipped signal to it. So the output signal is clipped. The other reason that can become a problem is, let's say you have way too much gain. Now you're running your master fader or your individual channel faders at like -20, -25, way down, and so we're not getting as much signal out of the board to get to your powered speakers. Nowadays that's become less of an issue than it was with a noisy board, and so if you have your gains down and you're driving your board real hard, then the noise floor comes up. Less of an issue these days, but still we want to set it up correctly. So you want to be able to run at Unity, as close to Unity as possible, knowing that you're going to get the maximum level that you want in your system. Where this really comes into play, and again, see this all the time, is like at a church or an install. You got an installed system, and you want to run it close to 0 as possible on your fader, and now it's way too loud in the room. It's like the room is like crazy loud, and so you're having to pull down your main fader by about 10 dB. So then it's like, okay, I'm not really running at Unity, which is what I want to run at. So then your input gain is too hot on your speakers or your amplifiers, so you need to back that off so you're getting as close to 0 as possible on your master fader. That way you're getting the desired level and the desired output that you want in the room. So that's the concept. Now, of course, you've got gain staging at each input. Super important as well. You want to make sure you're getting enough signal, not too much signal. You don't want it to clip. You don't want it to overdrive the input. Again, these are all things that are part of that gain staging process. Super important. Should be doing that every time when you're setting up your system, or if you're like in an install situation where you're going through, you're sound checking each input. You should be setting proper gain at each channel, and then proper gain for your outputs if it isn't already set up. If it's not a permanent system, it makes it a little harder to make those adjustments. But that's the idea and the concept. All right. So again, I just wanted to kind of walk through that, as I know it's something that comes up a lot, and it's not a volume, it's an input gain on the amplifier, and it's an input gain on the powered speakers. All right. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a message. I'd be happy to answer them. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.